What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hard Park 703 channel. So, as you all know, I've recently installed a titanium exhaust on my C8 Corvette. Very happy with it. It gave me a performance gain. It's really loud, and it's also quiet when you need it to be. And it sounds epic. However, I'm still left wanting. And why am I still left wanting? Because I'm just used to just really loud exhaust all the time. Like, just, it's constant. And that's because of my C7. My C7 is loud from the very first second that you blip the throttle to wide open throttle. The C8, it's quiet until you really start getting up into the RPMs. And so even though that exhaust, you would say, is really loud, you have to get on it for it to be really loud. For the rest of the time, it's very, you would say, tame, even with the valves open. And so that really left me wanting. I love loud. I love, like, just the excessive, annoying, unnecessary loud exhausts. And so, for that matter, I came up with a solution. So here is that solution. I ended up going with some headers for the C8. So this should definitely liven up that sound. It should make it pretty gnarly, I'm hoping. And it should definitely give a performance benefit as well, obviously. So I ended up going with the AFE Power Twisted Steel Tri-Y Design headers. And we'll get into why. But let's open up the box and let me show you the exact model that I went with. So I figured we might as well just continue the conversation when I get to the shop, because I got to drop the car off anyway. So yeah, we'll just unbox the we'll unbox everything as soon as I get there. But yeah, so let's get going. Okay, valves closed. Yeah, it's a really loud cold start. But anyways, yeah, so I'll pick up the video literally as soon as backing out, as soon as I get to the shop. Oh yeah, small little tidbit. So the check engine light is on now. It came on after I did a couple of aggressive pulls. All right, so just got to the shop and just pulled the vehicle in for Brian. We're gonna get started on this first thing tomorrow morning. So I figured drop it off overnight, so then that way the exhaust isn't boiling. Hey, Jerry. All right, let's see what we got in here. All right, so it came with, okay, cool. Comes with hardware, comes with its own gasket. No idea what that is. Okay, cool. So we've got that, that's great. We don't have to reuse anything. But the other side, okay, obviously makes sense. There's two of them. And then here are the bad boys. Check, oh, cool. What is this? Oh, nice, I like it. In case anything ever happens to that one, I've got another one. Cool. Thank you, AFE Power. All right, here they are. These are the Tri-Y Design Twisted Steel headers from AFE Power. And the ones that I got, the model that I got, are the ceramic coated ones, so they're the Cerakote ones. And, I'll show you guys this tomorrow. I don't feel like unwrapping these right now. I'm too lazy to do that. But yeah, so these are ceramic coated. Can't tell too much right here, but we'll pull them out, everything, and then we'll do a comparison with the factory headers, and then you can see the difference in them. And then, yeah, we'll talk all about them tomorrow and stuff like that. I don't want to take up any more time, but what else we got in this box? Oh, cool. You guys know I love my stickers, so I need to put a sticker on my toolbox. We've got bolts and everything. That's wonderful. Everything checks out. Awesome. All right. Can't wait to put these on the vehicle tomorrow. All right. All right, good morning. It's the following day. It's 7:45 in the morning. So this is what the world looks like at this time. I can't remember the last time I woke up at. All right, good morning. It's the following day. It's 7:45 in the morning. I can't remember the last time I was ever up at this time. So this is what it all looks like. Everyone's literally going in the opposite direction, going to work, and I'm heading further into the neighborhoods because I'm taking the back routes to the shop. This sucks. It's funny how morning. So it is the following day. It's 7:45 in the morning. Everyone is heading in the opposite direction and going to work. I'm the only person heading further into the neighborhoods to take a shortcut to my buddy's shop. I guess this is what the world looks like at this time. I can't remember the last time I was up at remotely close to 7:45 in the morning. 9 a.m. is already early for me, so I don't know how people function at this time. But funny how it's easier to wake up at this time to do something that you're excited about than obviously clocking into work. So I'm relatively awake, and we're going to be at my buddy's shop in like 2 minutes. Removing the factory exhaust, you're obviously going to have to change up a few things, right? You're either going to reuse the factory valves, right? The AFM and MPP valves, or you're just going to completely bypass them, and you're either not going to run valves at all on your exhaust, or you're going to run probably an aftermarket valve system. And so with my setup, I'm running an aftermarket valve system. So I got the valve simulators for the factory valves from Paragon Performance, right? So I got those simulators, and then I plugged them in. So then that way, it prevents your vehicle from throwing a check engine light, because you're no longer using the factory valves. You're using a whole new set that came with the exhaust. But it looks like my check engine light is on, and we ran the codes, and it's the valve codes. So we're trying to figure out why. I mean, the simulators were working, obviously, right? Like, we drove the car for a while, and then I'm wondering why the simulators know, like, why the codes came on if the simulators are plugged in and everything's working. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. I could care less. Yeah, okay, I get it. Like with the Corvettes, you can't do remote start if you... Oh, spider is on my hand, crawling. Okay, cool. Problem solved. All right, so you can't remote start a Corvette with the check engine light on. I don't really care. I don't really remote start my cars anyways, because they're always garaged. But other than that, I mean, it doesn't really bother me. I'm used to the check engine light being on the C7, so for that matter, it's on the C8. Yeah, but just thought I should throw that in there. So in case you do get a check engine light and you're using valve simulators, I mean, just check if everything is plugged in correctly. Maybe it has to do also with the location of where you zip tied everything to. I don't feel like getting into that, so we're just gonna clear the codes, and yeah, we're gonna continue from there. But I just thought I should throw that in there, just so that now you're aware that even if you get the valve simulators, you still might have a check engine light come on at some point. So don't either be alarmed or don't be alarmed. I mean, it depends on how much it bothers you. First things first, obviously, you just got to disconnect all different lines and everything, right? So...
Taking the fuel lines off now.
Okay, cool. Yep. And then after all that's said and done, then we just got to remove these braces right here, right? And then that'll give you better access to the headers. It's funny because right now I'm talking to Brian, and Brian disconnected the battery to work with the fuel lines, so then now he doesn't get, like, you know, a surprise and get sprayed in the face or anything, blah, 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 right? And then I was like, oh, huh, interesting. And then I'm just kind of just chilling there right next to him, and I was like, wait a minute, I already did this and I didn't disconnect the battery. I was like, thank God I didn't get sprayed in the face, because I would have found out the hard way. I would have been like, oh no, what did I just do? I would have thought I blew the motor or something like that, because when I was removing the intake manifold, I didn't do that. I didn't even know that's a safety precaution. So thank God I didn't, you know, just dump fuel everywhere. So we just finished taking off all the heat shield bolts on both sides. What do we got? So just how many heat shield bolts are we talking about? You've got basically 3 bolts holding the outer heat shield, and then you've got 3 bolts holding the inner heat shield. And they're all accessible from here. I mean, I've seen some videos that say, like, oh, you got to remove the wheels, and you got to remove the fender liner in order to remove your headers and all that, and you know, do this type of work. And no, you don't, because Brian literally has already done this multiple times where he just accessed everything from up here. So yeah, so 3 bolts holding the outer heat shields, and then 3 bolts holding the inner heat shields. And then you got to remove these, the brace right here we just removed, and then the brace is right there. So then that way it's much easier for you to maneuver all the heat shields out and then maneuver the headers out. So yeah, you don't need to work from the bottom of the vehicle in order to remove headers. Maybe it's easier for some people. I don't know. Maybe it's a different scenario for the hardtop convertible, but for the coupes, it's not a big deal. So, all right. So heat shields are fully off. So this is what they look like exposed. The factory headers I'm talking about. And so now we're just trying to figure out how we're going to get to all the bolts, because we clearly got to get to the bolts down there. Those are the harder ones to get to than the ones that are exposed right there. So yeah, we're just playing around right now, figuring out what is the best angle of attack. Okay, so this heat shield right here is a middle heat shield, I guess, or whatever. Okay, yeah. And then, so you're working on a middle heat shield right now?
Yeah, there's basically 4.
Okay, so there's 4 heat shields. Okay. So the part that I was saying was easy was basically the 2 top heat shields. And now it gets a little bit trickier to get to the more bottom heat shields, the ones that are further down. That's basically what you're saying? Yeah. Okay, gotcha. All right, so just know that when I was talking about the easy part, I guess I was only aware that there were 2 heat shields on the top, the outer and the inner one. There are many more heat shields that are more difficult to access, so I do apologize for sounding a little snarky when I was like, well, you don't have to take the wheels off and you don't have to take the fender liner off. So yeah, that might not be a bad idea to help with this. We're not going that route yet. But yeah, okay, there you go. See, now you heard it from Brian. He said yet. So we may have to go that route. So yeah, like what worked out.
That was the lower heat shield.
Okay, yeah.
In their video, they said you can't take it out.
Okay.
Until the header's out.
Yeah.
But it seemed on that side to come out.
So on the driver's side, you were able to do it without having to remove the header first.
All from the top.
Right, okay, cool.
This side has coolant lines in a way that maybe shouldn't.
Oh, gotcha, okay. So passenger side's more of a pain than the driver's side for the lower heat shields?
A little less room. Yeah,
okay.
If you look down here where all these coolant lines are.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I see it.
They were in the way for just a little bit of the stuff, trying to get the heat shields out.
Gotcha, okay. So it's doable. It's doable. We're learning that you don't have to necessarily access through the fender. So we got the passenger side, so now he's just digging away at the passengers. Wait, what did I just say? We got the driver's side, yeah, and so now Brian's just working with the passenger side. So which bolts are those that you were referring to that you can't back out by hand?
The manifold bolts.
The manifold bolts? Okay.
Yeah, they're like a locking style bolt.
Uh-huh.
So you have to ratchet it out the whole way?
The whole way. Okay. So, all right. Well, so we're good on this side. And then now we just did the passenger side. A little bit more of a ways to go. And then we'll finally get these out. So, what's the takeaway here? Just, this is tedious. It's very tedious. Once again, I'm not going to say it's hard. You can access everything, but you are going to have to maneuver your body in ways that you never thought of before. And it helps if you're more of a, I'm not going to say a contortionist, but if you're a little bit more athletic and you've got, you're in good shape and you can have your body at various angles with your arms in various positions, it'll be easier. So just be prepared that this is going to take a little bit of time to remove the factory headers. Driver's side header is out. Wow, it's a lot of space, but not when there's a header there. All right, here we go. All right, so here is the driver's side header. Interesting. All right, just looking at the flow of it, I heard the factory headers on the C8s are actually quite good, so cool. All right, so now from looking at the design, now that Brian has moved on to the passenger side, let's talk about the headers. Why the bolts are a pain to get to. Well, okay, so these are the 5 manifold bolts, right? So they're right here, and you can't unthread them by hand. You have to use a ratchet the whole way. And so the location is, I guess it's, all right, my finger's like not even gonna reach. But basically right here, here, there, and then obviously over there in the corner. And so the difficult part is right here, obviously everything's open and stuff, right? But if you think about it, when the headers were on there, and you're working in that tiny little section of the engine bay, it's very difficult for you to get your hands in here, especially with like metal pieces being on top of this. So that's why now I see why it's so hard to get to these, because of the angle at which they're sitting. These aren't just sitting, these bolts aren't just sitting horizontally. They're like at an angle. They're angled down, and you've got, like I say, things sitting on top of here, right? So the bolt isn't easily exposed, and so you got to get underneath with a ratchet, right, and try to get it out. And so makes sense why why Brian's not smiling too much right now. You want to see the way Brian has to contort himself? Well, that's at a very awkward angle. So everything that I just pointed out with the driver's side, right? It's even worse on the passenger side. A little bit more difficult to get to those bolts, but it's doable. So you see what I'm saying by a lot of metal being in the way, obviously. There's a lot of physical components in the way of you being able to access that bolt. So clearly, you can't just like put your ratchet up to it real quick and then just have all the room to just, loosen it up. You got to really get your hand there and work at awkward angles. So. Yeah. Sweet. Got the passenger side out. Want me to grab it from you? Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Got it?
Yep. All right. It's not as heavy as I thought it would be. All right. Cool. So now, sweet. Can't wait to see what this thing looks like. Nice. All right, so which one do we have in our hand? Driver. The driver's side. All right, let's grab the driver's side one. Let's do a comparison. All right. So. All right. Okay. Well. So. Yeah, well, that's the one that you got from the passenger side. That's the passenger side one that I just put down. So then that is a passenger side. Yeah, so this is passenger side, right? Because this is probably flowing in that direction, like
oh yeah, because upside down.
Right,
yeah,
right,
upside
right.
down.
Okay, yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, so I mean, clearly, Brian? What would you say big difference is? Like, clearly, I see it. I just don't know how to word it.
Well, I guess first we have a long tube here versus a short, so I guess you're getting more of a long tube effect. The collector is 4 to 2 to 1.
Right.
And this is 4 to 1.
Okay.
And I guess you have equal diameter here. You're
right. And so that's what. So these are important parts that I was reading up on the forum. 4 2 to 1 design is apparently better for low to mid range power, and then 4 to 1 is for upper end, like you would say. I was gonna say high end power, but the upper end of the power band. So if you want more of the low end power, then you're going to go with a 4 2 to 1. If you want more, I guess I'm just going to say higher end power, upper RPM power, you would say, you're going to want the 4 to 1 setup. And then the other important part is the, I guess, collector exit flange size, right? So this looks like it's, I don't know, maybe 2.75, I guess. But whatever this is, whatever the factory size is, whether it's 2.5 or 2.75, it's matched by the AFE Power Twisted Steel Tri-Y Design headers. And so the reason why I bring this up is because many headers that are aftermarket are smaller than this exit. And so a lot of people are complaining that they're either being robbed of power, they're actually making less power than the factory headers, or they're not making the gains that they thought they would make. But with the AFE Power, there's been enough people getting tuned and they've noticed significant bumps. So that's great. But more than anything, this has got that ceramic coating on it, as you can see, right? So this is that Cerakote that we were talking about, and you definitely, I wouldn't say you definitely need it, but it is a wonderful idea to have this because you want to keep those engine bay temperatures down because you can get robbed of power because of, Brian, you said heat soak?
Yeah, you want to get the heat out, and it keeps the heat in from radiating inside, so it runs cooler.
Right, so you want to keep the heat inside here, but you don't want that heat to radiate out into the engine bay because the cooler the engine bay temperature, the
performance
better. Okay, cool. Yep, so better performance for that matter. So not a bad idea if you look at ceramic coated headers or getting your headers, whichever headers you have now, getting them ceramic coated. It'll aid in performance. So yeah. So yeah, you can definitely see how these just flow a lot better than this. Like the bends aren't as nuts as the factory one, right? Like the factory one looks like it like swoops back and then comes back up. These right here just kind of swoop like this and then just come straight down. So the bends are less significant, I guess you would say, right? Like the angle is a lot better on these. And so that's gonna definitely aid in the flow, of course. And so, yeah. Let's turn them over like this. And that way we can take another look right here. Okay, there we go. So that gives you another idea. Right there. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to hear what these are going to sound like. All right, so remember how we were talking about the factory headers are 4-to-1, and then the aftermarket ones are 4-2-to-1. So this gives you a really good idea of that. So you can see right there the difference, right? So this is the 4-to-1, this is the 4-2-to-1. Let me put these down real quick and I'll show you each one individually. All right, so factory one, trying to get some light in there. So yeah, you can see it's just one chamber in there, right? And so yeah, that's good. That's good. You get the point. It's just one chamber. All right, let me put this down for a second. All right, and now this one right here, clearly you can see it splits into two. So there you go. Yep.
Like form fit to the other manifold holes or something.
A little bit better or something. You're saying like because it's new and it hasn't been.
Yeah.
You're saying because it's new and it hasn't been pre-crushed.
Right.
Right. Okay. So.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a metal gasket. It probably would have been fine to reuse, but it probably just.
Yeah, no, I just think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that, yeah, AFE Power supplied us with GM, like, so literally factory gaskets for the aftermarket headers. So it's cool because maybe it's not necessary, but we're using new gaskets and we would have gone the new route, the route of using new gaskets anyways, only because I was bringing up a point that maybe the old gasket itself might be already like pre-crushed in a way, right? Like you put the gasket on and then you have the factory headers on there, and so it may be slightly molded differently, right? Once you put pressure in it and it digs into the gasket itself. And so maybe it doesn't make a difference if you use the factory gaskets and you use new ones, but we would have ended up using new ones anyways just to be safe. So that's awesome that AFE Power took the time to supply us with new GM factory hardware for the aftermarket, their aftermarket headers. So thank you. That's awesome. That's a little extra perk that you get with these headers. Yep, Brian brings up a good point. Let's see if there's a weight difference. All right, so got this one in my hand. All right, feels it's light in my hand. All right, so now let me grab the same one here. So the one that was just in my hand, that's passenger. This is passenger factory. So grabbing from the same spot, I guess you would say. They feel honestly the same weight. So I'm not, yeah. I don't think you're saving yourself any, weight by going with aftermarket headers. But it's just something that I just wanted to, compare. So, yeah, I do feel a difference though. This is slightly lighter. Yeah. All right. One more time, just so I know I'm not crazy. Picking this up. All right. Let's just curl it. All right. So if I'm curling this, yep. Okay. All right. Now if I'm curling this one. Curling this one. All right. Okay. Yeah. So it is slightly lighter. The aftermarket headers are slightly lighter than the factory headers. Not by much, but you will feel it. You will feel the difference in the weight if you if you really take the time to compare it. First time around or whatever, I just kind of held them up real quick. Didn't really feel like much of a difference. But then now when you're actually taking your time and there's a difference. All right, so maybe just a couple pounds. Nothing. It's not like 10-pound difference or anything like that. It's probably not even a 5-pound difference, but you feel it. So yeah, you save yourself a couple pounds with aftermarket headers. Gasket is on, and so now we're maneuvering it back into position. See, the difficult part that we were getting confused about, we were like, wait, which one's the passenger, which one's the driver's side? It's because we were forgetting that the headers are upside down on this vehicle. On the C7, this would be the driver's side. This is exactly what it looks like on my driver's side. So when you open up the engine bay, this is what you see up top, and then that's what's flowing down to the rest of the exhaust. On the C8, it's the exact opposite. That's on the bottom, right? So the runners? The runners, I guess you would say? The runners or whatever? I don't know what these are called. I'm sorry. I know this is a collector, but I'm just saying, this is the part that's underneath it, and then the collector is above it. So that's why we were so confused when we were trying to get the factory piece to line up with the aftermarket one when we were trying to do the comparison. But yeah, so here, I'll show you exactly what we're talking about. I'll go this way. So you see what I'm saying? So they're upside down. And then they obviously go right there to where the caps would be in my case. All right, so it's a little difficult to maneuver back into place. And so the approach that we're taking is get yourself one of the manifold bolts, right? And we suggest putting the manifold bolt in the middle right here. So put the manifold bolt in there, lay your gasket down on top of this. So then that way your gasket is up against the new headers, and then it's being held on, kind of held in place with the manifold bolt. And so then that way, hopefully you can get this down into position, and then that way you can start threading in the center manifold bolt to kind of hold everything into place. So then that way it's easier for you to be able to get the side bolts in there right after that. So that's kind of what that. Brian's also trying to put bolts in from the test pipes, or you would say from your cats, to the exit flange of the collector where the headers are. So in that way you can kind of line it up there kind of hold it in place there while you're also trying to bolt down to the manifold, right? So you're trying to line up multiple angles at once, and so that can get pretty overwhelming.
Because there's 3 pieces involved, you know, the bolt, the gasket, and the header.
Yeah.
And you don't have a lot of clearance.
Yeah, so, all right, so you're getting a what? A magnetic?
Yeah, I got a
magnetic socket? Okay, yeah, so magnetic socket might not be a bad idea to help hold that bolt into position because it keeps wanting to fall out. Like I said, the bolt that you're threading in, it's not exactly horizontal. It's at an angle down. So you're trying to thread it in at almost like a 45-degree angle. And the problem is you're trying to also keep steady the catalytic portion with the collector. And so you're also trying not to have those bolts fall out either. And so keep in mind, like if you do aftermarket catalytic converters or aftermarket test pipes, they don't have those bolts in place like the factory cats did, right? The factory cats had them already there, so they never moved. But these, you gotta thread in yourself. So it's just extra moving parts. And so we're going the route of a magnetic socket, see if that helps with the bolt for the manifold. All right, driver's side's done. So we got it in place. It's not torqued down, but yeah, just seeing Brian work to get those bolts down there into the manifold. Yeah, it's not easy, so just be patient with it. And then he was able to line this up and then get these bolts on here as well. So looking good. It's looking good. Let me see if I can get a better angle. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, cool. Let's get to the passenger side. Looks good. That looks awesome. Here's something to note. All right, so factory manifold bolts, right? They're this length, and they are a certain socket size compared to the AFE ones that they supply. So as you can see right here, the factory ones are longer, right? So the AFE power supplied bolts are a little bit shorter, so keep that in mind. It might be a little bit more difficult for you to start getting that thread in there, right? Since they're shorter. But then not just that, different head size. So the factory ones are 13, the aftermarket ones are 12. So you also might notice that when you get your socket on there and you're like, I don't understand why am I still spinning around it, because these are 12 and these are 13. So those are the two differences between the factory bolts and then the aftermarket bolts. So just something to know. No, I just I appreciate that. So I noticed Brian put a pad there because you don't want to scrape up the ceramic coating, otherwise you obviously render it useless.
No, I just don't want it to look ugly for you.
Right, yeah. So just, you know, if you're torquing stuff down, just make sure you're protecting it, right? You know, you're protecting your investment in that way. So otherwise, then why'd you get the ceramic coating, you know? So awesome. Thanks, bro, homie. Appreciate it. Wait, so what about the torque procedure? Why is the torque procedure like a pain?
It just feels like it's so much bulkier. It's hard to maneuver.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay. It's not like the instructions suck. It's the fact that you're saying you don't have a lot of room to play with to torque everything to spec.
I feel like I'm breaking the bolt. You know, I'm like, it just.
Gotcha. Okay. I get what you're saying. Yeah. So, all right. So it is a pain. Gotcha.
Like, I know what to do now. Like I figured out my process.
Right. So, I had to figure out a game plan for the torque procedure. It's a pain. It's a pain because I mean you've got a pretty big tool. That's what she said. And then yeah, I'm sorry, I am immature. And then you've got very little room to work with. So I mean, it is what it is, right? So, like I say, take your time. Yeah. So driver's side's now fully torqued. That was pain. This whole thing needs to be maneuvered in there in order for you to torque it all down, and like I said, you have no room to play with. So now we're up and over on the passenger side, and it doesn't seem like it's any easier than the driver's side at all. So, good luck. All right, so driver's side is done. According to Brian's facial reaction, it was not any easier than driver's side. So, would you say driver's side or passenger side was harder, or both just equally a pain?
Yeah,
The whole thing, the whole thing sucks. Yeah, the whole thing sucks.
The passenger side was harder to take out, easier to put in.
All right, so passenger side. Say it again. Passenger side, what?
It was harder to get out, but easier to put in.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. All right, so.
I don't know how that makes sense.
I mean, harder to take out the factory ones, right? Harder to take out the factory headers and then. Right. Okay. So less room to play with when you're trying to take out the factory headers, and then more room to play with when you're putting in the aftermarket headers, but still equally a pain when you're trying to torque down all those manifold bolts down there. So, yep, have fun. All right, so we are basically done. We're just gonna look everything over one more time. We're just cleaning off all the tools and everything, but they're in there. We got the braces back on. We got all the lines, all the fittings, everything's on. So all we gotta do is basically connect the battery, and then we're gonna fire it up. And so that'll be the very first start with the headers. So I can't wait to hear that. And then tomorrow I'll probably just do the cold start tomorrow morning, because I gotta get home, wash the car. Because we got me and Jerry, we've got a car show early. And so I got to wash the car today because I'm not going to have time tomorrow morning because it's, I mean, for me, a 10 a.m. car show is pretty early. So I'm just going to wash the car. I've got some cloud coverage, it's perfect. So yeah, anyways, I'll do the cold start tomorrow with the vehicle. So then that way I'll have the cold starts, and then we'll go through the same thing later in the day. I'll go and do a couple revs in the parking lot and stuff, and then I'll put everything back to back, and so then that way you guys can hear the comparisons between, you know, factory exhaust, then just the titanium exhaust, and then with the titanium exhaust plus the headers. So, all right, cool. Let's wrap this up. Yeah, hopefully it didn't go in. Yeah. So we were about to fire up the vehicle, but I noticed there is a nail in the tire, so hopefully we can plug that. Before we fire this up and everything. Obviously I'm excited for that, but now we see the nail in the tire, and that sucks.
Perfect position.
Right? Sitting down on the job.
Yeah. So there we go. Yeah, so hopefully we can plug that up. That sucks. And so we might as well check every other tire too, make sure we don't have the same issue. It's frustrating. These tires are so sticky, but not just that. It's also the fact that, like, since I'm in the storage lot as well, I mean, I could be picking up nails there easily too, because people are always working out of their storage units. And I notice nails all over the place when I go and swap the vehicles at the storage lots. So not much can be done, but yeah, let's just check out all the tires.
Yes, sir. Wow. Tiny little nail, no puncture.
Oh, dude.
That's the best
nice.
case scenario right there. That's so
Oh,
short.
that's awesome.
Little tiny motherfucker.
Oh, that is awesome.
Good day. Good day. That's a good day.
Yeah, look at this thing. I mean, looks like it bent, and hopefully, yeah, I don't think it punctured the tire at all. So, right there. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, this didn't go through?
No.
So that didn't go through? Right?
No.
Yeah, all right. Sweet. Awesome, man. And this is straight up what I find all the time at the storage facility. So this is
Oh, yeah.
I need to then start parking somewhere else then, because yeah, that sucks. All right. Yeah, so they just sprayed to see if it was bubbling up, and it's not. So awesome. Perfect. All right, so made sure the valves are open. Here we go. Wow. definitely, I hope that pop came out in the video because that was epic. That was epic. Yeah. What? What happened?
Turning gold already.
Oh, it's turning gold. Oh, cool. It's changing color. Really? All right, that's awesome. Oh, dope. So what's burning off right now?
Just the heat, whatever is made, all of the
Oh, okay.
initial shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so like all the initial like material and stuff is like burning off the excess stuff. And so everything looks good. We're checking it over. But yeah, so that sounded really good. And the fact that now, like, look how quiet it goes with the valves. Like with the valves closed right now, I mean, this is great. I can have full conversation right here and we're good. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, it's the middle one is it's not used. Yeah. Wow. Cerakote, your downpipe that Cerakote turned a goldish brown or whatever.
Gold, yeah.
Yeah. We're noticing the Cerakoted headers, they're starting to change color. So they're going more towards like a goldish amber type color, which is awesome because I think that's going to flow a hell of a lot better with the gold exhaust anyways. So yeah, I think that's awesome. I think it looks fantastic right now. And that first initial startup was just nuts. So.
We're going to clear the light too, right? Clear the light?
Yeah, let's clear the light. Let's clear the light. Yeah. Yeah, we'll clear the code for the valve simulators. See if it comes back on, because there's no reason why the valve simulators should not be working. I mean, they're clicked in correctly. They're not being affected by anything. So hopefully us clearing it, hopefully it doesn't come back on. If it does, then maybe I'll send an email out to Paragon Performance letting them know what the issue is. But the great part is the Big Daddy Garage, those O2 sensor extensions and mini cats did the trick, because there is no check engine light on for the test pipes. So the fact that you don't have cats and you're running the extensions, the O2 sensor extensions and the mini cats, that's great. So that's the one that I was worried about. So the fact that check engine light is for the simulators, it's much less worrying for me than if it was for the cats. Let's see. And it's off. So it's cleared. It is cleared. So the code that we're getting, it's for valve 2. So I don't know which one that is, because I know there's 4 valves, obviously, there's 4 simulators that we had to use, right? 4 valve simulators that we had to use for the factory connections. So I would assume 4 valves, right? So 2 AFM and then 2 NPP. I just don't know which one is valve 2 out of all those. So Brian's just checking to see if he can see all the simulators, to see if maybe one's disconnected or something, like maybe one didn't clip in all the way or what. All right, so with regards to the valve simulators and then the code that I'm throwing, so it's saying valve 2, right? So since it's saying valve 2 and we got 4 of those simulators, we're thinking maybe we can swap 2 of the simulators and then see if that problem migrates over to a different valve, right? So like if whichever one valve 2 is, right? If we unplug that one and then we unplug, I don't know, maybe the other one is valve 1. If we swap them and then now we see the code is saying valve 1 or whatever, then maybe that'll indicate that that simulator is bad. But we'll see. We're trying to figure out a solution. All right, so that's definitely the route we're going. We're gonna lift the car back up, see if we can get to the simulators and then swap them. So yeah. I hate creating more problems for Brian, but at least the vehicle is here while we're noticing these problems, as opposed to me being home and then, you know, scheduling another visit and all that. So might as well try to do it all before I take it back. Yeah, so they're tucked up in there. They're the only way to access them, like, I mean, we can't even access them from down here. The easiest way is going to be for us to remove the little bit of the fender liner. We'll see if we can snake our hand up in there. So, because this one you can barely see it. This one is...
I just want to reach my hand in there, but it's hot.
Yeah, so it's... That one's right there. You can see it right behind that line. But on this side, we can't see it. So we're going to have to probably go through the fender liner.
Here it is.
There we go. There it is.
So,
There it is.
Is it plugged in?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait, it feels weird. No. Wait. There's something that just popped.
Did you just click it? It might have been unclicked.
No, the wire harness, but can you see it?
No.
There's a cap.
It's what?
It's a protective cap or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, see
Oh,
that?
okay.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Okay. Let's see what count go.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
There's
we'll
a red.
we'll unplug that one and then switch it with this other one right here.
Yeah, whichever
right
is the
there.
easiest one to reach.
Yeah, so we'll try to swap them. So we'll swap that driver's side one with then the inner one right here, and we'll see if that that does the trick. That's a little bit of a pain
Oh, so you are going to take it out.
right there. Yeah,
If I can.
I know, right? With one hand. That's a very crazy manipulation right there.
Most likely,
All right,
the
so-
issue is always most likely the aftermarket part.
So yeah, so we're saying the valve simulator like broke apart.
I mean, the guts are off of it.
Oh, okay, yeah, so, okay. All right. Yeah,
Oh, it's just the
Yeah.
case though, right?
Yeah.
okay. So, all right. So yeah, so all the internals are there of the simulator, and then the case is right here in my hand. I need to put this, I need to put this cup down. This cup down for a second. All right, so yeah. So there's nothing in here.
It's tight.
Yeah. So that's probably why it's throwing a code, because it
Yeah.
probably broke apart. So. Alright. Yep.
Oh,
That's the internal. right?
Wait, what the fuck?
Is it broken?
Yeah.
It has.
What's that?
So here's
So
the
these
housing.
three plug in,
Yeah.
Okay.
But
and then there's just resistors.
that's it, just like that. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, this probably just sits in there.
Okay. So that's what came apart, right?
Oh, it's probably wedged in there, huh? Like
Yeah,
it's
probably just pushes in
press
there,
fit,
yeah.
yeah. Get a flathead and push her in there. Or... Do you know how to test those resistors?
I mean, it's probably just a continuity check. Like, as long as there's continuity between these two and these two.
Yeah, because it's just resisting. That's all that
Yeah.
is. Yeah. That's true. So yeah, if it's
I don't think
busted,
it can plug in wrong. Unless they inserted it wrong. Like, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, I don't know.
But was it like that since day one when you left?
No.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was driving around for at
Okay,
least
yeah.
like a week or almost 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden the light came on.
Yeah. Then it's,
So,
I doubt it was backwards.
right, because I would have had the issue from the get-go
Right
if
away.
it was set up backwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it looks like the middle one.
Dead?
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel like doing it. Unplug another simulator, then you can compare it.
Right, I'm worried if,
It will break as well.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
I mean, I would guess they'll just give you another one. You show that you paid for 4.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, I got one. One was throwing a code.
Uh-huh.
When I unplugged it, it came apart.
Yeah, so the module's broken. We just pulled it out to see what was going on, and you can see right
Was it this
there.
one? Was the one right in the middle right there?
No, it's for left and right.
So that one is the one that is working, and then this is the one that's broken. So you can see that piece broke off. Okay.
Can you
Solder it?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, I'm gonna solder it back together.
Oh, nice.
All right. So what Brian is doing is what he's gonna try to do is solder solder the connection back
It's
together.
the resistor. Yeah.
Right, solder it back together and see if it works. I don't know anything about soldering, so I'm fascinated right now just seeing what the heck this little like fleshlight thing does.
Yeah.
Okay, so what part did you solder?
That
right
big
there,
blob.
that little blob right there?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna check for the connection?
Yeah.
Okay,
Cool. Plug it in first. See
All
what
right.
happens, or I go with the meter.
okay.
It's so cheaply made.
It is. You can tell now. It's like, oh. Continuity.
Yep.
All right, there's some term they're throwing around called continuity. So I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing.
All right, maybe I just reinsert it.
I'd say let's bet. Yeah, let's try to maybe it wedges in.
Yep.
Hopefully wedges in.
Pressure.
And it comes right out. But hopefully it can be reinserted like without it breaking. But we'll see. But yeah, so it ended up being the simulator that was bad ended up being on the passenger side. We were focused on the rear driver's side. That's the good one. That one's working. That's the one that we have out right now. Now. All right, so yeah, so the code that we're seeing is actually for the rear passenger side. We were focused on the rear driver's side, so we took that one out first. That one's fine. That one is getting voltage, so it's not broken or anything. It comes apart. Like this piece wedges in here, but it's just difficult to keep it in there. So we're gonna try to maneuver it into place and then pop them back in. But it's the rear passenger side one that was broken. So that's the one that Brian had to actually solder back together. And so now we're trying to pop that one back in, and then we'll put the driver's side one back on, and then we'll see if the codes are good. So you're checking right now to see if there's any codes.
But I gotta clear them manually.
Oh, okay.
And then see what comes back.
Okay. All right, so Brian was able to check to see if there were any codes. So we cleared the existing codes. Then we turned the vehicle on to see if new codes would come on, and nothing came on, so no codes. So that worked. That is awesome. So it was one of the simulators that was broken, and so we soldered it back together. It worked, and that's awesome. No more check engine light. So check engine light is off. We are back in business, so I don't know why I just gave a thumbs up. That's how excited I am, but yes. Thanks, man. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it, dude. Which is the one that you're checking? Which harness?
It's the harness I ran for the exhaust valves.
Okay. Yeah.
Is really close to the exhaust over here.
To the test pipe section?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
So he's going to maneuver that out of place and tuck it in more safely, so that that way it's not too close to a heated source. We're addressing a wire, right? That's covered with
The harness that I ran.
Okay, the harness.
For the titanium exhaust
Yeah,
valves.
yeah.
It hangs low, so it sits on an aluminum heat shield.
Okay.
And it looked like when we were pushing or pulling, or wind blew it off, so it was dangling close to the exhaust.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So we're trying to move that further away
Just
from
so it doesn't know.
it. Yes. Okay. Makes sense.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So no more codes, dude. Yeah. No codes. So that's what I'm saying. So no codes for cats. No codes for valves anymore. We are back in business, dude. This is great. This is awesome. And then Brian did some epic stuff down here that I'm not aware of. But he got that wire to be tucked away, so it's
Top of the shield.
yeah. Okay.
So it can't blow down.
Yeah. So Yeah, he did some pretty cool stuff. I have no idea. There's no way I was going to be able to film that corridor, but very grateful. So awesome. We are, we're good. All right, so let's do my very first start from inside the vehicle, and let's see what it sounds like. That's loud. That is really loud. All right, so just got home. Drives great. Definitely picked up power. I mean, this thing definitely gets up there in the power band much faster. So that's great. The sucky part is it definitely lost its sound. I think I read somewhere that if you do headers, you're going to lose the exotic car sound. And I guess I completely forgot all about that, and I assumed I had a more exotic car sound because I did the titanium exhaust. But now with the headers, it sounds horrible. I lost everything. I lost everything that I accomplished with the titanium exhaust. All that higher pitch, like tinny noise, you would say, right? Like more exotic tone, lost. Those bangs, the very, very crisp and sharp bangs that you would hear, the pops that you would hear every time it would upshift, those are gone. They're still there. You still hear a slight pop, but it's a slight pop. It's not a loud pop by any means. And then no more burbles, like no more burbling or gurgling or anything like that. I think it's just so free-flowing. I think the whole setup is just so free-flowing that now there's no more burbles and gurgles at all, like when it downshifts. It used to do that all the time, right? And I used to get sometimes like a little bit of a like backfire, right? It would be like pop. Now it doesn't do that, so that sucks. I really wanted to exacerbate all of that, and that's what I thought I was going to accomplish. So it's either go back to the factory headers, which I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go back to the factory headers. It's either go back to the factory headers and then be happy with the amazing titanium exhaust sound, or be happy with this bump in power and then with this more mediocre to crappy exhaust sound. So I'm just going to, I mean, the power bump is great, and I'm going to keep building off of that. I've got more power that I'm going to be putting into the vehicle with performance mods. So I'm not going to go back, but the sound is just, I mean, tomorrow I'm going to take it out to some shows and stuff like that. I don't think it's going to change my mind. I mean, I got a pretty good impression of what it sounds like. I put my windows down and put the windows up. So yeah, it's, yeah, we'll see tomorrow. So it's the following morning. It's like 90 something degrees already. It's 10 a.m. It's 100% humidity. It's disgusting. But I figured let's start with a cold start, and then on the drive to the car show, I'll get into why the vehicle doesn't sound the way I thought it would. Looked up a bunch of videos last night, and yeah, all my questions were answered. So yeah, let's do a cold start, and then I'm gonna head to the car show and everything. I'm gonna film that one as a separate video, and then we'll go do some revs and stuff, and we'll get all into it and everything. So yeah, but just know the power delivery is awesome in these with these headers. The throttle response, it's much better, and the color is changing like significantly. So hopefully by the end of today, I'll take some shots or whatever. I'll show you guys, like maybe I can get a good angle in the sun or something like that. They're turning a nice gold, even though they've got that like titanium Cerakote, like the titanium ceramic coating, whatever. I say Cerakote because it is Cerakote. It still shine. It's still like that coating or whatever. It's changing anyways. So it's going more towards like a goldish bronze. And so that's awesome because it flows perfectly with everything else. But yeah, all right. So let me stop talking and let's get into this. as you could clearly tell, the cold start is really loud, but it took away, the headers took away the, you used to get like a backfire when you would start it up just with the titanium exhaust without the headers. And so you would get like you would initially start it and it'd be like pop, 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 and it would continue with its cold start. And it's really nice because you would also get that also like when you would, I don't know, if you're in the store for like an hour or whatever like that and you come back out to the car, it would do that as well. And so that's one thing that I miss right there. It was like a higher pitch, nice pops that you would get. And so that's one thing right there. I mean, it's a nice smooth cold start, but louder is wonderful. Yes, it's louder, but the the characteristics of the exhaust have changed. So we're gonna get into it. So much smoother. It's a much smoother sound. So the pops when you upshift are there, but they're not as, it's not like a whiplash anymore. When it used to shift into gear, when it used to go from first to second to third to fourth, and so on and so forth, it was a whiplash sound, like, whoosh. No, that's wrong. It was like a crackle, right? Like a crack, like a whip crack. I was making like a blow-off valve sound. So anyways, it's now like more subtle. So the pop is there. See, like hopefully it came out in the video, but it's not as pronounced. So that's one thing that really drives me nuts. The other thing is the tone of the exhaust itself. The tone of the exhaust itself, obviously, it's much deeper. It's much deeper, and it's to be expected. When you do headers on these vehicles, I now just watched so many videos, and everybody said the same thing. When you do headers on the vehicle, you're gonna produce a much deeper, throatier sound. So that is what it is. So the exotic V8 sound is gone. Once you do headers, the exotic higher pitched V8 sound is gone. You're now going into the territory of deeper American muscle sound. So just be aware of that. So if you like your exotic sound, just do the catback portion. And you can even do you could do high flow mufflers, or you can do the cats, whatever you want to do as well. But just don't touch the headers. If you want a deeper muscle car throaty sound, then definitely do the headers. And so that's where I'm at. Obviously I did the headers, and so now my exhaust has changed completely. So now you've heard what the startup sounds like, right? What the cold start sound like. And obviously for that matter, I mean, you've heard like what it sounds idling, right? Because I let it idle down before I hit the valves when I did the cold start. But then also when I'd be driving and then I would just downshift one or two, I would also get a pop. It would be like a backfire pop. So that's gone now too. So I miss that. And then I miss most the burbles and gurgles that you would get when you're decelerating towards a light. So you're coming up to a red light and the vehicle's decelerating, and you just don't get that anymore. You don't get the burbles and gurgles anymore. So it is what it is. I was just really surprised because I didn't do much more reading into it or research, right? So I was thinking the headers were going to completely exacerbate the existing sound that my vehicle was already producing, and that wasn't the case at all. It was like the exact opposite. It took away all the effects. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. It's something to be noted, especially if you're trying to go for like whatever sound you prefer in the vehicle. This is going to be a good video for you to understand the two directions you can go in with the vehicle. So at least this way, now you guys have a really good comparison of what the vehicle sounded like before headers and what the vehicle sounds like now with headers. So, however, like I stated before, the power delivery is awesome. Okay, this is definitely noticeable, more noticeable than all the other upgrades that I did to the vehicle. The throttle response, like it picks up a lot faster, and then you can feel the power delivery through the entire RPM band, right? And so it's not just high up in the RPMs, it's not just low, it's through the entire range, the RPM range. And so it feels great. So sound aside, right, depending on what sound you want to do, the power delivery is amazing. So obviously if you're trying to get more power out of the C8, then you definitely want to do headers on this car, because it's going to really change up the characteristics. Like I said, I mean, the throttle response is there, but then also you can feel the power that you're putting down, the extra power that you're putting down, especially when you're just going wide open throttle. And so do it. I would say do it. For power wise, like, this is why I'm so heartbroken, like torn between the two. Yeah, my sound is gone. The sound that I loved, the sound that I personally loved, is gone. But the power is there. And I just want to keep building off of this power. I still have many other performance mods to do to this vehicle. And so I don't want to... It's like, the power delivery is so great. It feels so wonderful that it's to the point where I don't even want to... How do I say it? I don't want to go back. I don't want to put the factory headers back on just because the exhaust will sound cooler, because the vehicle feels completely different right now. It feels great. It feels a lot more, it feels a lot faster. It feels a lot faster. But yeah, so I have to sacrifice the sound in order for me to just keep gaining performance out of the vehicle. So it's, yeah, so do it. Performance wise, do it. Like, absolutely, this is an amazing upgrade. Sound wise, just be aware of what kind of sound you want out of the vehicle. But power delivery is awesome. So another thing to note, you would say that when you're accelerating, there's a different type of frequency as well. So it's not as high pitched, obviously, as just a titanium exhaust alone without the headers. That one sounded, like I say, like when you were accelerating, sounded much more exotic. It was giving you more towards that Z06 type of sound, frequency, vibe, whatever you want to call it. All three. With this one, it almost sounds like as if like right now, it almost sounds like as if a supercharger spooling. So like the supercharger on my Z, it's got that Z sound, like zzz, like that, right? Obviously, once you're getting up into the once you're getting up into the acceleration, once you're accelerating, and this one almost has that same type of like zzz. So I don't know if it's coming out in the video, but you do get that. It's a much deeper, like supercharger type noise, like zzz, like that, you know, but like a deeper. I don't know how to do a deeper Z. But that's the sound that you're getting. So you went from like more of an F1 Z06 type higher pitched exotic sound note when you're accelerating to more of like almost like a supercharger type whine. And you could say, you'd be like, oh well, then it sounds probably more like an intake sucking in air, but it's different. It's even deeper and throatier than just an intake. But yeah, so that's another difference I just noticed right now. Every time I get on the gas a little bit. And so if that's the sound that you want, if you don't want such a higher pitched V8 exotic sound, then yes, you could just go this route. That would work just fine. But yeah, it's definitely, like I say, it's exactly what I'm trying to describe. It's a deeper, like almost supercharger type whine noise. So yeah, it's cool. It's different. So hopefully that's coming out. Hopefully that's echoing off of the trees that are right here on my passenger side. But it's very smooth. That's what I'm saying. It's very smooth. There's no more crack, whip crack, whatever, like that, whip crackle, whatever, you know, like the whiplash sound. There's no more of that. It's just a very nice, smooth, linear sound. So, like I say, it's different. It's different. It's not. I wouldn't say it's worse, because it depends on what you're into. But for me, it's just not what I wanted. But it still sounds good. hopefully the wind is not drowning out the exhaust noise. But yeah, so that's what that's primarily what it sounds like right now. So yeah, I'll slow down a little bit and then we'll do another little quick, not a pull. I don't feel like wasting the gas right now, but so it's much louder. It's definitely much louder. So you definitely get that sound as soon as you start going up in there into the RPMs. So damn it, it's like I love it and I hate it. It's so difficult right now, like on my soul, because as much as I want to hate it, I'm really enjoying it right now too. So not exactly what I wanted, but still sounds great. All right, so you be the judge. You're getting all these sound clips and everything, and then I'm going to do some revs later and stuff. So you be the judge. You decide what you want, what direction you want to go in with the exhaust. I did contact, here's something to note. I did contact, did I just spit? I'm sorry. I did contact a tuning company. For that matter, I contacted Paragon Performance and I scheduled a call. So then that way, I can ask them, hey, can I tune back the sound? Not the exact tone, not the pitch and the tone. I get that. I get the headers have changed it entirely. However, I want those pops back. So I asked them, and then they're going to call me back on Monday, and we'll talk about it, hopefully. If I can get those upshift pops back, and then if I can get that like backfire pop back when I downshift, and then also if I can get very subtle burbles when I'm decelerating towards the light. I don't want the artificial popcorn BMW sounding type burbles, because I absolutely hate that. But I wouldn't mind if they can produce a more natural sounding, this is where I need to turn? No, okay. If they can produce a more natural sounding deceleration, like crackle burble, right as I'm approaching a light. Nothing too crazy. I don't need it to go like ba 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 or whatever. Just enough for me to hear it in the cabin, but not annoy anyone else around me. And I think that's the main thing that like they can do with the burble tune. But I'm not using the burble tune just purely for burbles and to be annoying with burbles. I'm using it to bring back my pops more than anything. And so I really want those loud, aggressive pops that I had. So, all right, I think this is my turn. I'll pick it up later because I'm filming a totally different video right now. Listen to that thing. You can hear it all the way from here. All right, so we are in a slightly new spot. It looks like they closed off the parking lot that I used to go to rev every time. Maybe they sold the building to someone, or maybe I was caught on camera revving too many times and they just got annoyed or something. I doubt that would be the case though. There was no one there ever. But yeah, so I'm in another parking lot right now, and so nobody's here except for the police officer in the corner. I hope he doesn't mind. And yeah, so we're gonna get started. I'm gonna look like a simp, so then that way I don't get in trouble for revving this car. But right now we're gonna do so we're gonna do revs. We're gonna do valve closed right now, so the valve's closed, right? So I'll do a couple revs with the valves closed, and then obviously we'll do some revs with the valves open, and then that way we can do a comparison test. So this will be obviously the headers in conjunction with the titanium exhaust. Okay, so that was valves closed, right? Still sounded pretty good. It sounds pretty loud even with the valves closed, but now we're gonna do the valves open. So, yeah. All right, yeah, so that's clearly a night and day difference. I mean, you flip the valves and it goes pretty quiet, and then you flip them again and you are just wide open throttle. So I guess I hadn't really paid attention, me just parked in a spot and then just switching it up like that. And so right now, even me just being in the cabin, it feels completely like, actually, I was gonna say it feels it. I hear it completely differently, but it's not just that. You actually feel it. You feel it in your seat. It's really. It could also be that the headers are finally like I said, starting to break in, right? And so the sound is really starting to come through more. And as much as I don't have that whip, that crackle or whatever, right? Like that, like I said, that snap that I want, the pop from the upshifts, it's not as pronounced with the headers on. It's still it's still pretty gnarly. It makes an entirely different sound all on its own. So yeah, I'm walking around right now because the cop is like looking right at me. I mean, that was a really loud rev session, and so he's really interested. I assume he probably enjoys the vehicle. I hope more so than being like, hey, you're getting a ticket. But I'm telling you, this thing sounds great on its own now. Like I'm not complaining so much anymore. I was complaining this morning. Right now, I'm actually really happy. I was getting on it a little bit when I was trying to go from one show to another, and then obviously I got poured on. But up until then, it was a blast. I was ripping it to hear what it sounds like. This thing wide open throttle, like really with the pedal mashed down. I mean, this thing is insane. So I don't know. I don't hate myself so much now for putting the headers on there. This unique sound on its own is great. So it's different, but it's great. So look, my mood completely changed, obviously. I was in a bad mood this morning, and now I'm in a much better mood. So yeah, the exhaust, it's different, but it's amazing. So it's funny now I say it's amazing. So yeah, the AFE performance, the AFE power, geez, it's gonna be a long name. The AFE power twisted steel, titanium ceramic coating, Tri-Y design, 4 2-to-1 headers. That is the longest I've ever said a title. Are amazing. So you get the performance. Obviously, you feel the performance right away. The throttle response is insane. You've got power throughout the entire RPM range, and I mean, you definitely feel it. That is amazing. I love it. And now I'm falling in love with the sound too. So yeah, headers will make your car deeper and sound like smoother and whatnot. However, once they break in, you'll get a little bit more of that nice crackle and snaps. And then also, I mean, I can't sacrifice the performance for sound. Once I've experienced the performance, I mean, it's amazing. And now I'm falling in love with the sound. So yeah, this is awesome. Everything just shifted. Like the pops and the burbles and stuff shifted in the RPM band. And so now they do it at different times. And so, not different times, different RPMs. And so now I'm getting my pops back. And like I say, it could be that the headers are finally breaking in, right? Because they weren't making this noise yesterday. But now, like, at very low speeds, creeping up like to a red light or whatever, now you get the burbles and gurgles. And now I'm getting some good pops when it's upshifting. So it could just be that I was jumping the gun too quickly to judge, and you just got to give the headers time to like settle in, right? You got to let I don't know if you would say you got to let the computer learn the new setup, but that could be it also. It could be that the Corvette is adjusting certain values, right? Like I don't know much about tuning, so I don't know if it's like air fuel ratio values or fuel, how much fuel it's dumping in, or how much timing it's pulling. I mean, I know these are all terms, I just don't know what they mean, but maybe it has to do with that too. But I'm just saying the exhaust is sounding a lot better. So yeah, I'm really happy. There's I think that's a police officer 3 cars in front of me, so I can't do a pull. I'm gonna do a pull. I'm gonna do a pull though. So I'll roll up the windows and we'll do a pull. So that way you can really hear it. I assume probably with the windows up it'll be better, because right now, to me, I can only assume we're getting a lot of wind noise. right, so it's probably not coming out in the video, but I'm telling you, it's gurgling now. So it sounds really, really good. So I'm happy again. The tone is changed, all right? That hasn't been touched. It's obviously deeper. However, getting more of that snap back. So that was one. There's another one. All right, got to pick up a cake. So I'm just filming while I'm doing some errands. All right, I'll pick it up right after I get the cake. Let's, I forgot if I did a warmed up start, but let's hear what a warmed up start sounds like. I was only in the store for like 2 seconds, so. Yeah, it's definitely there. With the valves open, it's definitely there. So, valves closed. There you go. Did that come out in video? Because that is a massive storm right behind me. I need to get home. Then if we just heard the thunder from here, it's like as if it responded to me. I turned on the car and then it responded. I was like, you better get home, dude. I'm about to rain on you again. So yeah, all right. No more fiddling around. We are definitely getting home fast. I'm not kidding. I was drenched. The rain was coming in. It was a horrible experience. Do I have the heat seater on? No, I don't. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it was just coming. It was pouring all over my shoulder. It sucked. Please don't ever get caught in rain in this car. Okay, so I've got, do I have my legs being, because I've got the cake on the floor and it's refrigerated, so I don't want it to melt. Which one do I have on? I need this and I need legs. All right, cool. We should be good. Oh, and I'm at 72. I need to put it to max cool. All right, windows up. Why am I filming all of this like a diary? All right, I'll pick it up when, hopefully I can do a pull and I don't destroy the cake. All right, well, let me lower this. Wide open throttle. Oh, valves closed. Wide open throttle, valves open. That sounded good. That sounded good. There was a lot of traffic in front of me, so I wasn't able to hold on to it, but yeah, that sounded really good. Oh man, that sounds really, really good. I'm hoping it's coming in. I'm hoping the sound is coming through. I'm hoping it's coming through because I've got the windows up and I've got the top off. Obviously, I'm just hoping the sound isn't drowning out the experience because I figured it'll. With the windows up, it should enhance the sound a little bit. Like we should be able to get a clearer exhaust note. And then also hear it a little bit louder than if the top was up. But I could be completely wrong and this segment would be trashed. So I'm hoping as soon as I get home and check this segment that we were able to hear something. So anyways, all right, I'm back in traffic. So not much more can be done. We'll do a quick little pull right here. So I got the valves open. It should sound pretty gnarly. We'll do a quick one, but wide open throttle so you can hear it. And there you have it. That sounded awesome. I really, really, really hope that came out. Oh God, oh. Sharp turn, sharp turn, sharp turn. Holding the cake, holding the cake. All right, nice. It didn't go sideways. It didn't go sideways, right? All right, it didn't go sideways. Nice, nice, nice. Otherwise, my family would have killed me. So, I hope that came out in the video. That was a really, really nice pull. That was a really, really nice pull. All right. Adjusted myself up over the speed bump. Okay. Waving at a neighbor. Ooh, pop. Well, I would hope there's a pop. I bet you this thing dumped a heck of a lot of fuel right now when I just did that quick little pull. That was awesome. And this thing picks up speed so fast. And that was me not even with launch control. So I can only imagine what this thing feels. I need to play with the launch control. Now that I'm talking to you guys, I'm gonna need to play with the launch control. But more than anything, I need to get this cake refrigerated because this thing is gonna melt. It's like I've got the air conditioning on, but I mean, please, it's cream. Oh my God. All right, crisis averted. ran inside with the cake, got it refrigerated. I figure before we pull the vehicle in, this is a perfect opportunity for me to pop open the trunk and then show you the color change. I mean, the sun's beaming pretty nicely right there on it, so hopefully it's not cast in shadow. So let me open it. All right, let's open it up. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, I mean, come on. You can clearly tell that's now more of a goldish bronze color compared to yesterday. Yesterday it was just silver. So. Ah, it smells really bad. That looks awesome. Yeah, I mean, look at that. You can clearly tell the color difference. Look at that. That is not silver at all. That is now more of a bronze color. That looks awesome. Oh, that is sick. That is so dope. Wow. These braces weren't here. Wow. So good. It is really hot right there. Okay. It's like overheating my phone. The phone kept shutting off on me because as soon as I get it too close to the headers, the heat is so intense that the phone senses it's just too hot and then it just shuts off. So I can kind of film it from like right here, but I can't really film for too long up like above them. And not to mention obviously my hand gets hot too. So yeah, that's awesome. These look sick. That is so dope. Let's close this. And can you see them in there? Yep. You can clearly see them. They're visible. That's awesome. Love it. All right, yeah, obviously too much glare. Too much glare. Look at that. Look at that color. Just the color right there is just gorgeous. It's such a gorgeous, like light bronze gold color. And I love that because of the fact that it literally flows perfectly with the exhaust out the back. So yeah, look at that. That is sexy. That is sexy. AFE Power knocked it out of the park with their headers. I know I was complaining about the sound, but these sound monstrous on their own. I'm falling in love with the sound more and more. So, wow. Just, all right, I'm mesmerized right now, but all right. Just me sticking my head in the engine bay. This is what it did just now. But those are epic. All right. So yes, I do understand. Oh, this is disgusting. My arm is just pouring sweat. All right. This morning I was in a bad mood. Yes. All right. Because the drive home, it was just completely just super smooth. No pops. No pops and bangs. And, just nothing that I was used to, right? I was used to the gurgles and burbles. I was used to the pops when upshifting. I was used to like the backfire when it would downshift. All of that has now come back today. So there really is a break-in period with headers. And if you drive it like a grandfather, the break-in period is going to be longer. And why do I say that? Because my friend just texted me and he was like, well, of course, your break-in period is going to take like a year because you drive just like that. But I got on it today a little bit, and it helped. It helped. Obviously, the color changed and everything, and now the sound is coming back. So, yeah, something's brewing. I'm telling you, there's thunder in the distance. It's right behind that tree right there. That's the storm. It's just darkness right there, and then that's where all the sunlight is. But yeah, thank God I got it back in. Like I'm telling you, like my day felt like it was ruined. I've never been trapped in rain like that, except for like twice in the entire time that I've had Wranglers. And in the Wrangler, I didn't care at all. Obviously, the interior is waterproof, and it just doesn't matter. And then in this thing was just getting soaked. And unfortunately, I mean, literally, the rain started as I hit the traffic. I was on the highway, and I was going I was going the speed of traffic. And there were no blocks in front of me or anything like that, you would say, right? Like no delays. And then as the couple drops hit the windshield, I was like, wait, what is this? What is this? And as I'm like taking the ramp to merge onto a different highway, it's coming to a stop and the rain is getting harder. And I was like, this is the exact opposite of what I wanted. And so, I mean, I just tried to stay on the bumper of the car in front of me and just try to keep going. So then that way, the faster I would go, the more I would keep the rain out as much as possible. And so I did my best. But yeah, so I know you guys could be like, well, why didn't you just film it or whatever like that, so we know what you're talking about or whatever. I wasn't thinking about filming at that time. I was in distress. So yeah, they're some of the best free-flowing headers that are made for the vehicle, right? So I'm not taking anything away from other vehicles, but I've seen a lot of YouTube videos comparing all the different types of headers. And the AFE Power is like one of two that actually puts down amazing numbers and gives you a power increase as opposed to robbing you of power or just not giving you any performance gain at all. Maybe others just produce sound or something. I don't know. I haven't looked into the other ones, right? I'm very happy with these. But yeah, so AFE Power, just amazing fabrication and R&D, everything. All right, so because these headers are awesome. And then these are obviously the ceramic coated ones. And then now you've seen how the color changes on the ceramic coated one. So that is dope. It feels a lot peppier. Especially I noticed when you're coming out of a turn, right? So, I don't know, you're coming up to the light or whatever, and you're going to make your right or left-hand turn or whatever. And you start, I'm not going to say punch it again, but you start accelerating again. It's that much easier to accelerate and pick up speed. So that's how you can easily tell how this has changed out how the vehicle feels. And then so we've got obviously the power increase, right? We've got the beautiful Cerakote on there, so that's going to keep the engine. Thank God these are actually, you know what? I just realized this. I guess that engine bay temperature would have been a heck of a lot hotter had they not been ceramic coated. I was like, wait, I mean, it's still hot in here, but it's not to the point where I can only imagine, I guess, if these were stainless steel and they weren't coated, then me putting like my hands above it or whatever like that, it would like singe my hair or whatever, blah, 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 right? Because if it's this hot with the ceramic coating in there, right, I can only imagine just how hot this engine bay gets without the ceramic coating. So yeah, definitely, I'm just realizing this as I'm filming. The ceramic coating makes a big difference. So yeah, so get yourself some ceramic coated. The headers do change out your sound. So they will make the sound, I guess the term really is like throatier, deeper, okay? Now, here is a little caveat to that, I guess. The titanium exhaust, right? Okay, so this gives me that high-pitched tinny noise. Awesome, great. Now it's starting to blend in with that header sound that is a little bit more, it's deeper, right? So the headers aren't taking over the sound range anymore, right? So now that the headers are breaking in, they're settling in, and like, in a way, it's like, I'm trying to say, like, it's mixing really nicely with the titanium exhaust that I have. And so now I'm happy. I'm happy. Obviously, you guys saw my reaction just completely changed as the day went on. And look at that. That's coincidental with like each new drive cycle. And so now it sounds great. So yeah, it's still slightly different from what I originally had. Yes. Okay. Right. Do I still wish I had that sound before I put the headers on? Yes, I would very much love that. This right here is now getting closer to that. So that is amazing, because I don't know what this might sound like a month from now or whatever, right? It might, maybe even next week or whatever. But point being, this thing sounds amazing now paired with this exhaust. And so I'm getting all those pops back from the upshifts. I'm getting the backfire. I got a backfire pop when I downshifted earlier when I was driving. And not just that, now I was trying to bring it out in the video. I don't know if it came out, but obviously I made it a point to bring it up when I was decelerating towards the light. I got the burbles and gurgles again. So they're coming back. I don't know if they'll come back more pronounced than what they are right now. This might be it, for all I know. But now I'm not so upset, and I'm not gonna lie. Last night I literally was contacting Paragon Performance being like, hey, I might need that burble tune for this purpose, so and so, right? And I talked about that, I think, earlier in the video. So now I'm thinking I don't think I need to even go that route. I'm holding my other arm up with this hand because it's just exhausted. The shoulder's exhausted. So I might just cancel that phone call appointment, actually, because this might just take care of itself. Oh my God, more thunder. Zeus, I hear you. Anyways, you guys know this is what the vehicle sounds like with the components that I have right now. And so I can only imagine it's going to get exacerbated probably once I do the intake and the intake manifold, because since it's going to be sucking in more air, it's probably going to make the vehicle louder. I don't know in what direction it'll take it or whatever, the sound, but I'm excited because I mean, this thing wide open throttle just sounds sick. This thing sounds so good. I hadn't done wide open throttle yesterday. Well, there was no need to. I mean, I was literally going from the shop back to the house, and I mean, it's like 35 mile per hour roads. But yeah, so today I did a bunch of wide open throttle pulls, and it sounds good. It sounds really, really good. So I'm really happy with this. You guys can play around with whatever components you guys have and whatnot, or do some research, see what route you want to take your vehicle in. But I'm happy. I'm happy with this. I'm not questioning whether I want to take the headers off anymore or anything. Like, I love them. Okay, so I'm very happy with the way things turned out, right? And so yeah, I can't wait to put more power down and get a little bit more throttle response, right? I should get all of that with the intake and intake manifold as well. So the thing is definitely coming to life. It's very, very, very peppy. I need more endurance, man. My shoulders are killing me. But yeah, all right, so that's the video. So if you like the video, go and click the like button, hit subscribe. And I ended up enjoying making this video. I was upset at one point. I was like, I don't even want to upload this. This came out horrible, blah, 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 whatever. And then it was night and day difference, obviously. I'm a very emotional individual. It's funny because I feel like I'm like in therapy talking to you guys. But yeah, all right, it's nice. It's nice for you guys to hear me blab about my realizations in life. So anyways, all right, it looks like it's about to come down, so I need to get back inside. But yeah, all right, stay tuned because we've got a lot of content coming up. This is just another round of segments that I've got on my phone that I need to offload. So yeah, stay tuned. Bye.